Hi YouTube, I'm Antonio.
I'm Ryan.
And this is Off the Shelf. This is a show where we're going to talk about comic books, the comic book industry, just everything in general, and we're not just going to talk about the big two, we're going to talk about indie comics as well, because indie comics really don't get enough love as far as we're concerned. Because there's so many other companies out there: Image, Dark Horse, Strictly Underground, Freestyle Comics, Hound Comics. I could go on for days and days and days. Kid Monster Creations. There's so many. So we're going to try and talk about everybody and anybody, and just give you as much info as you can, and just talk about what we like, what we think is good, and just go from there.
Hopefully, we'll enlighten you.
Yes, I'm hoping we will. This show is going to be for anybody who likes comics now, anybody who likes comics, who wants to learn about more comics. If you're a significant other or a relative of someone who likes comics and you're trying to maybe impress them, find something new that they didn't know about, maybe find a comic that they didn't know about, maybe we can tell you something that you might think they'll like, and something that's off the beaten track, something that you don't see every day, and just be enlightened about it. Alright? Want to give some background about ourselves?
Alright, I'll take over. So, my name is Ryan. Let me see. I guess I got into comics at a young age. Mostly Justice League, watching Justice League on TV, original X-Men, Spider-Man cartoon. It just seemed like a cool environment. It was fantasy, you got superpowers, you got crime, and you always have a hero, generally speaking, saving the day, being a role model, and just doing things that you don't see every day. You're not going to go outside and see Spider-Man swinging from tree to tree, but you could pick up a book and see just stuff that'll make you say, "Oh, that's pretty cool. I wish I had to see more of that." It's just a good environment. I think the first issue I ever picked up, it was a Spider-Man issue. I picked it up at Comics Plus, and I think it was an issue with Carnage, and just seeing Carnage alone as a character was crazy. No pun intended. Was quite insane to see him just massacring people in the street. You're like, you can't see that on TV. You're not going to see that in real life. Anyway, it was just a cool thing to experience, and ever since then I was hooked, picking up mostly DC titles, I'll admit, some Marvel, and then a lot of indies now, thanks to this gentleman right here.
Thank you.
I'm loving Image and Top Cow mostly, but we'll get into that later.
Alright, I'm Antonio. I learned to read from comics. I've been reading them most of my life. For a while I had a space where I stopped reading comics, and then I came back into it, started reading Ultimate X-Men, and then I went from there. I was buying at least 3 comics every week. I go more towards the indie section of the pool now, because I find it's a little bit deeper. I just like the characters are a little more developed to me. There's just this wide range of individuals who are making them also, and just all these great characters, and the stories are amazing. Now there are still some characters and books in Marvel that I do like, but I do stay more towards the indie just because I just enjoy them more.
And you mentioned Marvel. What about the other half of the big two?
I don't know what you're talking about. We're going to hit back on that a little bit later. But right now we're going to take a word from our sponsor. So we're back on Off the Shelf. I'm Antonio.
Ryan.
Right. So right now we're going to show you a couple of comics that we're actually reading now, or that we have read, just something in our collection that we actually like, just so you can see what's in our collection, what we like, and our thought process behind them, and why we enjoy them ourselves.
Yeah, it's just a brief glimpse into what we have, because like I said, this is just what we could access in our large catalogs and stuff. So hopefully every week you'll see something different, something you're unfamiliar with, and something you're interested in, hopefully.
And they aren't in any particular order, like favorite to least. And if by chance, there's something that you see in here that you like, go pick it up, read it, check it out. We wouldn't put it on here if we didn't actually like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll start off with a DC title. Everybody's familiar with DC, obviously. Everybody saw the Batman movies that were out in theaters.
All of them?
All of them. Oh, sorry. Have right here. Brave and the Bold, issue 33. This one not like normal Batman and so. Now we have Wonder Woman, Zatanna, and Batgirl, and this explores a very critical time in their lives. You get to see the good and the bad, you get to see their relationship, and you get to see how they are basically a family. They take care of each other, and you get to just explore a day with them. And like I said, it explores a critical point in their lives. Most of you probably know what I'm talking about, but it's just, there's a lot of twists and turns, and it's powerful stuff.
I myself don't read DC, but he loaned it to me, and it's a girls' night out, and it's the night before a very monumentous event that happens in DC, and it was just very well done, very well. It was just a really good all the way around. I was very happy to read it, and I definitely think it's a very good read.
Yeah, check it out. If you haven't read it already, check it out. It's definitely worth the $1 it'll cost you now to pick it up. You know, Brave and the Bold 33.
All right, I'm gonna go with an Image title, Image Invincible. Definitely a fan of it. Kirkman. Everyone knows Kirkman more for Walking Dead, especially because of the TV show now. But Invincible is definitely good. It's a young hero who finds out he's half alien, half human, starts to develop powers, and he finds out that his father is the world's greatest superhero, and how he tries to now start fighting crime and become a hero, and he starts meeting younger heroes, what have you. The art just keeps getting better and better. The story is great. When I buy them about 2 or 3 at a time, just because I start reading it and I don't want to stop reading it. I say, okay, I'm going to stop at volume 2, or chapter 2 I should say, in that particular trade, and to read the whole thing. So I definitely recommend Invincible from Image Comics. It's a worthwhile title.
Alright, next I actually have an Image title as well. Jersey Gods. Can't see it. You guys can read and you can hear. Jersey Gods.
There you go.
Gentleman right here pointed it out to me one day. I picked it up. Immediately from opening the book, you get a very strong Jack Kirby influence. It's ridiculous how heavily influenced this is, in a good way, of course. But the first characters you're introduced to, you get an immediate Orion, Darkseid, Caliban feel, and the story is about gods, lowercase g. You have, it's set in Jersey as well, which is familiar with us. Yeah. You see familiar landmarks, and it's essentially a love story, but it's, you know, you got gods fighting. You get New Genesis and Apocalypse, once again, different names in here, of course. Same thing, 2 different warring god factions fighting each other, coming together when need be, and it's a great story. I actually didn't know this was Image until 4 seconds ago, but check it out. Good company, always putting out good stuff. Jersey Gods.
I love Image. Okay, my next one up, definitely a mature rated title, Body Bags. From 12 Gauge Comics, I believe now, which has been bought by Image, so this is actually an Image title, technically, I guess. It's really the story of a father and daughter getting together while killing people in a horrendous manner.
That's exactly what I'd do.
Yeah, but I honestly, from the first time I saw the art, I loved it. Then when I actually found the trades, I was hooked, bought them immediately. They're body baggers, which are kind of assassins, bounty hunters that go after the worst jobs possible in their town. I love the fact that it's Hispanic characters, and that it's not set in New York or Washington, like big cities that you constantly see all over and over again. Definitely mature rated, but some of the best stuff possible. You won't really find any heroes in here. You'll just find people that aren't as bad as those people over there. Basically, that's the only way I can say it. But I loved it. There's no redeeming qualities really, except for the fact that this father and daughter relationship that are getting together, and it was really good. Body Baggers from Image Comics, formerly 12 Gauge Comics, still the same, I guess. I don't know, what have you. Definitely worth something to pick up if you just want to get something real good and meaty and visceral, pretty much. Body bags.
Bonding over killing people.
The American way. I mean, look at the Indians.
Next, I have Spawn. I don't necessarily want to draw attention to this issue, but the character and the story in general. Another Image title. Where everybody's familiar with the character Spawn. I think my introduction was to the movie how many years ago?
That was over 10 years ago. Michael Jai White.
Pre-Black Dynamite.
Yes.
But it's just a very dark character. When I first saw the movie, I didn't even know it was a comic book, actually. I found out afterwards. And looking back, I'm very interested in the entire story. This is from issue probably 500-600, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
This issue right here, and yeah, I gotta catch up. But it's just a dark setting, you know. He's a hitman who's set up by his own people, goes to hell, and is given a chance to come back for vengeance. Like, what? Why wouldn't you read that? What?
He comes back for Wanda. It's Wanda. He comes back for his heart. Because sometimes anti-heroes just happen to be black also.
You also get that heaven versus hell experience, which I love seeing, and Image does often that. Actually. You have Angelus,
the Magdalena,
the Darkness,
Witchblade, Artifacts,
and it's
Broken Trinity.
It's a cool concept that I don't think a lot of companies explore, and Top Cow and Image specialize in it, and that's why they get a lot of respect from me, because that's something you don't see often. But like I said, it's a dark book, but it's really cool. You got demons and angels everywhere, literally.
There you go.
Great book. Spawn. Start anywhere.
He even had sex with an angel.
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't know if you thought it was 3D or not, if you were trying to poke the people.
Nah, I just didn't know he fornicated with an angel.
Yes, he did.
Well, now you know.
And knowing is half the battle. No more G.I. Joe references here. Next up is a Vertigo title that is over now, but it was amazing to me. It was completely changed my thought process as far as comic books go. 100 Bullets, which was actually 100 episodes. Great noir story. I was looking for something that wasn't superhero related, and I saw 100 Bullets, and I decided, oh, why not? I picked it up, started reading it, fell in love with it. Then the story changed a bit, and it started going more into some of the history of Roanoke. If you don't know what Roanoke is, you probably didn't graduate high school yet.
To middle school, really.
You probably weren't born, and if you were, you should be ashamed of yourself. Read a book. It's just a really great story. Every character is flawed in so many shape or form, and in a dark way. Again, no heroes, just people with amazing flaws. Some are less than others, but it's one of my favorite books. Titles, I should say, ever. Amazing work. It goes from a man asking you a question and giving you a chance to redeem yourself or find a way to, just get rid of the wrongs that you've committed or that have been committed upon you, to these crime families that have been controlling the world for all these years. Great mix of noir, and the art is amazing. Story is... Pick it up if you haven't already. It's actually out in hardcover editions now. 100 Bullets, Vertigo. Check it out, please, if you haven't already.
Next up, we have another dark title. Apparently that's what we're into.
Because we're black.
Nemesis. In my opinion, probably one of the greatest books I've read. Just my personal opinion. But to make it easily relatable, it's essentially Batman versus the Joker, but now you get to follow the Joker. And it's dark and twisted, his plots. He wears all white because he doesn't need to hide. He doesn't want to hide. He wants you to know where he's at. He wants you to know he's up to no good. And yet you can't stop him. It really doesn't matter. It's futile. But he goes out and he basically challenges police commissioners.
I would say law enforcement officials.
General law enforcement in general, yes. He basically will send you a card and say, hey, you're going to die. Do something about it. And you're on his hit list, and he seems to deliver, essentially. and it's just the story, the tale of the character Nemesis and his battles with the police. It's very interesting, very dark, very mature, as we just noted. This is a Marvel print. It doesn't seem like typical Marvel because, once again, it's not necessarily superheroes. There's no superpowers. It's more of a crime novel, essentially, but it's very good. Nemesis.
Next up for me, another Image title. You can probably sense a trend with me. Saga. I think I just said everything that you actually needed to hear, because if you're watching the show, you probably know about comics, or hopefully you do, and you know how great this book is. Love story, dark comedy, action, adventure, chase movie,
fantasy,
sci-fi,
space as well, correct?
Yes,
space travel. Yeah.
Civil War type of. It's just it's all of those in this story. Such an amazing blend. Again, another mature title. Had a little controversy.
Yes.
Around issue 12, I believe it was.
I don't recall the number.
Some background images that some people thought were a little too offensive, because we're only living in 2013. Anyway, but this is a great book. I picked up the trade on Free Comic Book Day, which in my opinion should be like a holiday. Bought it, read it within a day, and I was mad that I didn't have more trades to read of this. Great book. The art is amazing. This is something to definitely go out and get. I will be following this. Very happy that I was able to pick it up. I read the first issue on Comixology for free. Loved it. Finally picked up the trade and fell in love with it all over again. So Saga from Image Comics. Mature rated again, but please definitely check it out. It's well worth your time.
Just on Saga real quick, I also read the first issue. It's still on my list of comics to pick up, but I have so much at home to read, I haven't gotten to it yet. But, just like you said, the juxtaposition of different elements in the comic is very good. It's really funny, it's very emotional, It's dark, it's, I guess, mythical, because isn't he kind of...
I would say more mystical.
Alien species in general. It's just, there's so many different elements that you'd never think to put together, and then as you're turning the pages, you're like, wow, why did nobody do this yet? It is actually a good read, and it's on my list of things I gotta pick up.
It's a perfect balance, and there's never an easy moment for them. From what I've read, it's like just when you think, okay, they're able to take a breather, something else pops up. So it keeps you on your toes. Great writing. Humor isn't in the spots where you expect it to be, but it was, and I laughed at some points, and I was like, wow, you got me. I was a little afraid, thought something was going to happen, then you made me laugh. I like that.
Okay, and apparently Image won this battle today that didn't happen. Image dominated right now, because I have another one. You can't see that. Whatever. Madame Mirage. This title, once again, was something else. Picked up in New York, I think, and kind of just browsing, just looking around. And
New York Comic Con.
And I was like, you know what? I've never seen this before. Let me check it out. Let me see what's going on. And actually, you're right. It was at Comic Con, and
for some reason, where it was,
the issue was following me around. Everywhere I looked, it was there calling my name. And
it was in a corner actually that you had to go and buy. Then you had to go across the actual hall.
Yeah. It was weird.
Guy was a little sketchy. We weren't sure if he actually worked there or not. I thought you might have been stealing.
I handed a random guy money, but I got this in return, so whatever. Anyway, it's set in a future where essentially technology can grant anyone not really superpowers, but abilities to do extra things. You know, jetpacks now are commonplace. You can get suits to make you super strong, and it's just generally... It's common now, and villains are using it, obviously, and people are trying to combat them. And then eventually, the government has had enough, and they outlaw them. Heroes are locked up, as well as villains. The villains were apparently smarter than the heroes, because they acted as if they were going to abandon their businesses. The heroes got locked up for the most part. But the villains continued to do what they were doing, kind of shady backdoor for money. And this issue kind of explores that. You have someone who's going to go out of her way to stop the criminals, to hopefully get some of the locked up heroes to join her. It's a big conspiracy. There's a lot of shady businesses because once again, the villains were smart enough to make it a job. Hey, I'll go and be a thug if you pay me. I got superpowers. Why not? And it's very interesting. Another Image Top Cow. Check it out, Madame Mirage.
All right, now this one I'm going to dive into the indie pool a little bit. I'm actually going to do the two of these together since one is in the other. I'm going to do Blackbird and Street Team, Strictly Underground and Kid Monster Comics. Definitely worthwhile. What we're going to try and do with this show is show not just straight male white characters, but we're also going to show characters of color, gay, lesbian, transgender, Asian, white, just the whole gamut. This comic is actually written and created by men of color, and the art is amazing. The story just had me going. Blackbird is one of my favorite comics. Another young hero who decides to go out on the streets and patrol his city. I love Charlie Fab's art. How he draws Antoine Jenkins and all the members of Grimmsburg, I'm absolutely in love with. I'm waiting for the trade of this because I want it desperately. He also has another book out now, which is Corsairs, which is more space pirates. Still amazing. I love this book. I love the grittiness of it. I love the art. I love the characters, movement, just everything. I love the book. Street Team is Blackbird along with Stalker, Aaron, Urban Shogun, Tiger, and the big man from Punks of Rage. It's just another great one. It tells the story of how they all come together to fight a crime boss. These guys did an amazing job with this book, and I'm waiting for the second volume of this one also. So please pick up if you can. You can actually order them from IndiePlanet.com, Blackbird and Street Team. Please check them out. Thank you.
Check them out. I think we're going to take another commercial break, guys. We'll be back with you momentarily.